Tonight on Animal House, a puppy is found locked up and living in its own filth.
Puppy was in here. You can't even breathe inside there. It's absolutely disgusting.
The SPCA saves farm animals from a horrible fate.
That's okay, that's okay. This is a goat hell.
And what could have caused this dog's terrible pain.
I think it's actually the back of his jaw. Now, whether it's a fracture or a stick injury or something, it's hard to tell.
In central Auckland, the SPCA has received a call about a skinny puppy left home alone.
Hello. Hey, sweetie. Oh, baby. We had a call this morning from the rental agency that managed the rental of this property. They came around this morning and discovered that the tenants had already left. The house has been cleared out and this little puppy was locked inside the laundry. No food, no water.
The property manager released the puppy after finding it locked in a filthy room.
Oh, God. Oh. The puppy was in here. You can't even breathe inside there. It's absolutely disgusting. She's been locked up inside there for probably up to a week, judging by the amount of faeces and the smell in there, if not longer. She's thin. She's definitely lost condition. You can just see the ridge of her spine and her rib cage. She's also got a little bit of an unusual gait, which might be a little bit of calcium deficiency. You know, if they've had her from a little pup and she hasn't been getting the right nutrition and food, they can get rickets from not getting enough calcium in their diet.
Calcium deficiency in a pup of this age could cause problems with bone development. As Sue collects evidence, someone arrives at the property.
Hi.
Hiya.
I'm Sue. I'm from the SPCA. Who are you?
In West Auckland, the SPCA is checking a property that's notorious for animal neglect.
I'm back at a property that keep goats. We're having a problem with goats getting the head stuck in fences. We have actually removed a large number in the past. There's problems everywhere. It's a bit of a nightmare, actually.
And there are goats in trouble yet again.
There's a couple I'll be removing. There's a nanny goat with shocking diarrhoea and underweight, and that's her little kid that's lame on the back leg. This little one would have been someone's pet, so I think they would have been conned out of their goat and told it's going to have some beautiful, idyllic life in the country. It's got diarrhoea, it's thin. In fact, she can come with me too. This is a goat hell. Certainly no idyllic countryside retreat.
And it turns out it's not just goats that are at risk here.
We've got Muscovy ducks everywhere, 100 or so wandering around the place. Filthy water overflows everywhere. God knows where that's coming from. They're getting some form of food. We've got a pile of corn next to a filthy, rotting pit.
Next, Kevin checks on a pigeon coop and finds the birds have lodgers.
Oh, huge rats. Oh, my God. They'll be eating all the eggs or even the babies. I think the rat problem will be mainly due to offal pits, filth and everything else going on around here. All these iron are over holes where bodies get thrown into. Yeah, I can see bodies of goats as well as a horrendous stench. But you don't have to look far. I mean, wherever you look, dumping of carcasses down here. Animal parts everywhere. It's quite horrendous to breathe around here. And there's some skins rotting underneath a tree. You see they've got a really big family that he's killing for, which is highly unlikely when you've got 100 ducks and sheep and goats and pigeons and everything's for the cooking pot. So it's obviously a slaughter operation.
And he's about to make a horrible discovery.
Oh, my God.
In South Auckland, another dog is in trouble.
We've had a report of a stray dog on a property. The gentleman that's found the dog thinks it could be parvo. The dog's dribbling from its mouth. So we're going to go through and just check it out, see if it's injured at all, and take it back to base.
Parvo is a deadly and highly contagious virus. Teresa will need to handle the dog with caution.
Hello, sweetie. Hi, puppy.
There are no obvious signs of the disease, but the dog is clearly in pain.
I know, sweetie, I know. I think he's actually been hit by a car. He's a little bit sore around the neck. Oh, I know, it's sore. So we'll take him back to base and get him checked out, see what's causing all this pain. Hey, sweetie, come on in.
With no obvious physical injuries, what's upsetting this dog is a mystery.
Trace it to the ark. Can you just let a dog attendant know that I'm bringing an injured dog back to base?
A woman has arrived at the property where the puppy was abandoned.
I'm Prana. I'm who used to stay in here.
Okay, I'll just go and get my book.
It's the former tenant, and Sue wants some answers.
Who owns the puppy?
Actually, a stray dog. I let it left in there
Yeah.
and stuff like that, but it's not my dog.
Okay. So when did you find the dog?
About 3 days ago.
Okay, so how do you explain that there's about 2 weeks' worth of faeces inside the laundry?
No, it comes and goes. And then when it comes around here, I often feed it.
There's possibly been an offence under the Animal Welfare Act, so I'm going to need you to come in for a formal interview.
Okay.
She's fronted up. She clearly doesn't think she's done anything wrong.
Sue is taking the pup, known as Blondie, back to base, where her health problems will be assessed.
She smells like the inside of the laundry.
At the West Auckland farm, Kevin is discovering horror after horror, and it's not over yet.
Oh my God. You can see your butcher hooks hanging up there. I won't be lifting up the iron in here to have a look, in case our brown furry friends are under there. This looks like the operation room. Saw benches, hooks, pulleys. There's your stock chute where your stock come up the ramp in here to be slaughtered. I can't believe that anyone's eating meat coming from such filthy, vile place. It's just a big rat-infested hole.
But there are more disturbing scenes to come as Kevin turns his attention to the ill-fated animals. SPCA staff are concerned that malnutrition may have caused serious health problems for Blondie, the pup left in the laundry. Vet Peter McQueen is assessing her.
She's got what looks like possible calcium deficiency thing going on, the long nails, the splayed feet.
She's dropped right down on these toes. She's not standing up on her toes at all. So that could be a combination of nutrition and lack of exercise.
She's not dehydrated,
No, so she must have had some
but
water recently.
she's lost, I mean, without knowing what she was like originally, but
she's
she's
certainly-
getting thin, isn't she?
She's underweight now.
Peter also suspects a calcium deficiency, which could cause bone deformities. Only blood tests will reveal how severe her health problems are. Next on the vet table is the stray dog with the mysterious pain.
Is he friendly enough?
Very friendly.
The Staffy Cross has no collar or microchip, but he seems friendly, so it's likely he is someone's pet.
You haven't noticed any blood or...?
There was blood from the mouth. He was drooling when I arrived, and there was a little bit of blood mixed in with it.
Yeah, there's no external injury, so it's quite possible he's got something in his mouth, but he may not want me to have a look. I'll just come
He's a boy. Good boy.
I think it's actually the back of his jaw. Now, whether it's a fracture or a stick injury or something, it's hard to tell. What we'll do is we'll give him some pain relief. I can't see any injuries, but we'll give him some antibiotic as a precaution. And then we're going to have to anaesthetise him and have a look, maybe even take an X-ray.
This antibiotic will treat any internal infection that may be causing the pain.
There was no report of him being hit by a car or they never saw anything.
Never saw anything.
Oh, you poor thing.
The cause of his suffering will remain a mystery until he can be examined under anaesthetic. At the home slaughterhouse, animals are suffering, so Kevin is going to remove the worst affected. And it doesn't take long for the thin nanny goat to run out of fight.
That's okay. That's okay. It's... You can see the hooves, all overgrown, no maintenance at all. She's in shocking condition, diarrhea, and feeding a little one.
But when he returns, the baby goat seems to have got itself into trouble.
Stay there, matey. That's okay. Stay there. That's okay, that's okay, that's okay. You're being saved, mate. One wet kid, not happy. Give him to mum to sort out.
Kevin then makes another disturbing discovery.
The poor little sick thing hiding out in the barrel covered in blowflies.
This kid puts up no resistance at all.
Oh, the blowies in there. Shocking dysentery. Not very old and life's been hell so far, I'd say. Come on, mama. Come on.
Finally, the friendly goat too begins its journey to the animal shelter.
Good girl. Come on.
Kevin has concerns about the remaining animals, but can't uplift them as they are not in obvious jeopardy.
As far as the ducks, they've got plenty of food and grass. Although in saying that, with this filth that's going on in here, just the fact of the animal carcasses and offal pits and sewagey water and everything like that, that surely can't be good for them. They're living on filth. Lucky I don't eat duck.
He is leaving the owner a 24-hour notice to contact the SPCA. After 5 days of food and care at the animal village, Blondie is starting to gain weight. Her blood tests revealed a severe lack of calcium, so she has been placed on a special diet.
This is CalciPup, which is a calcium additive for dogs, and it helps with the issues that she's experiencing with her front legs. Hi, Blondie. We weighed her today and she's up to 10.5 kilos, which is a vast improvement on what she was when she first came in. So she's coming along in leaps and bounds.
However, Blondie cannot be rehomed unless the calcium treatment has improved her bone problem. Her future hinges on a vet assessment in a week's time. It's time for the distressed dog to be put under anaesthetic, so Peter can investigate what's causing his pain.
Nice dog. There you go, just falling asleep. There you go. Nice dog. Just try and hold his top jaw. Oh, rightio.
And it's immediately clear what's wrong.
Oh, that's not nice, is it? He's just fractured his lower jaw. It's just snapped right through. And no wonder he's sore. Poor dog. That's a nasty little piece of orthopaedic work that's going to need. Okay. There's no need to x-ray that.
The dog's jaw requires major orthopaedic surgery, but with no sign of an owner to foot the bill, his future looks uncertain.
What we'll do is we'll maybe have a look at it tomorrow. We'll talk to the inspector and see if there's likelihood of an owner coming forward, because we can't leave it like that long term, obviously, because of the pain. And we could look at possibly plating it, fixing it here, if we can. You know, obviously it's not the simplest of things to do, but, you know, we may well have a look at doing that as well.
The ailing goats from the backyard slaughterhouse are in need of urgent vet treatment.
The first thing that's quite obvious is the lack of condition. They're quite underweight, undernourished.
All the goats are lethargic and in terrible health.
If they're lacking this much condition, it's probably unlikely they've been drenched. So goats are particularly susceptible to parasites. This one's scaring also. It's equivalent to diarrhea. It's sort of just the slang term that sort of most farmers use. These hoof walls are quite badly overgrown, because this would be quite painful. If you leave them like this, that could lead to more serious problems like joint infections. This toe is quite deformed. They're supposed to grow straight down and then finish about there, but this one is curled right round, so it's obviously got quite a while's growth on there.
The goats are suffering from foot rot, maggot infestation and gastric disease.
The plan from here is to drench them and trim the feet. Drench has got chemicals in it that kill the worms in the intestines. I'm just trimming away all the loose wool.
It's clear these goats have been neglected for a long time, and for some it may be too late.
Hello, smidgy girl.
After 3 weeks of calcium supplements, Blondie is being assessed to see if there has been any improvement in her health.
She seems still quite flat-footed on this foot, I think.
Maybe we'll try and put her on the ground to see whether or not there's any improvement, because obviously.
Come on, big girl.
I think she's actually improved, because she's still dropping down on them, but
Yeah.
they're not splaying out the way they were. So I think we'll just carry on and just see how we go. In every other respect, she's doing really quite well. She's obviously adjusting to life here really nicely.
Blondie will continue with her calcium treatment and will shortly undergo a temperament test to see if she is ready for adoption.
She'll be a lovely little pup for somebody.
The dog with a broken jaw has spent a harrowing night at the SPCA hospital.
Every time it moved, it would start crying despite the pain relief. We didn't consider it humane to be able to keep the dog like that for that length of time, because we have to try and hold them 8 days. So the only options really were going to be euthanasia on humane grounds, or to try and stabilise the jaw. And because the puppy does seem to be in good condition, we've decided we'll have a go at trying to stabilise it.
This is not a straightforward procedure. Peter will need to call on all his skills as a surgeon to fix this dog.
If we can manage to get a plate along the side of that, I think we'll be able to get it to hold still quite well.
Peter is attempting to join the broken jawbone together with a steel plate.
Being a young dog, I think now that should heal up really well, and it will certainly alleviate a lot of the pain the dog's been in.
The SPCA won't know for a week if the surgery has been successful.
Come on, Blondie. Hey, come on.
As Blondie was found abandoned, she may lack social skills. Therefore, she is about to face her greatest challenge yet.
OK, if you just want to get started.
She is undergoing a temperament test to assess whether she is fit to be rehomed.
This part of the assessment is the unpredictable walk. The purpose behind it is to ascertain how much attention the dog will pay to the handler without being prompted, so we're not using food, toys or voice to control the dog. She is actually stopping and watching the handler and seeing where she's going, so that's a really good indicator that she is actually going to be quite easy to train. To stare into a dog's eyes is really confrontational, so if you have a dog that's really dominant or aggressive, you could get a completely opposite reaction.
Ears are back, body's nice and soft. We are getting eye contact. What was that?
So the purpose of that test is to ascertain how the dog copes with sudden noise. She copes really well with it. She can cope with surprises, loud noises, that kind of thing. So again, she's a very relaxed, chilled out little pup.
Good girl.
By the handler scruffing her and picking her physically off the ground, it puts them on the defensive. So it's a good way to test and see if they're going to struggle, if they're going to panic, if they're going to become aggressive and try and get away, or if they're just going to accept. So she's basically passed all her assessment. So we've got a pass box, which we'll tick. And everything's really good. She's away, so we just need to get her into a home.
While the future looks brighter for Blondie, Sue wants to prosecute her former owner.
If the prosecution goes ahead, we're looking at the maximum penalty is $25,000 or 3 months imprisonment. Had we not found her, or had the property manager not found her, who knows what might have happened. But, you know, look at her now. She's such a happy little soul.
8 days after surgery, Peter checks on the dog with the broken jaw, who's been named Jerry.
The surgery worked really well. He was basically eating the next day. He's been on pain relief up until this morning, but now we've even stopped that. And as you can see, he's not bothered by it at all. The wounds here healed up from the surgery really well, and the inside of his jaw, it's amazing how quickly these things heal up. The gums and the injury inside the jaw's just healed really well. He's just done really well, and everyone really likes him.
The surgery has been a success, and as no owner has come forward to claim him, Jerry will be placed in a foster family until he is ready to be rehomed. After 2 weeks at the SPCA, Kevin is checking on the goats uplifted from the slaughterhouse.
Sadly, one of the young babies died. It was just too far gone. It had fly strike on it and all sorts of problems. riddled with worms.
However, the remaining 4 goats are making steady recoveries.
She's put on a lot more weight in the belly. Only good girl. The other nanny goat will take a bit longer with feeding a baby as well. Recovery will be a little bit slower, but they're all putting on weight and going well.
The owner has surrendered the goats to the SPCA, but Kevin is prosecuting him for neglect.
It's an ongoing problem with his property, and we need to have it resolved. We can't just continually do the clean-up work on it.
The owner is convicted of 10 charges of animal neglect. He is ordered to pay SPCA costs of $794, fine $600, and banned from owning animals for 5 years.
Come on, breakfast. Sit.
Jerry, sit. Good boy.
Good boy.
Jerry, the dog found with a broken jaw, is now in a foster home and enjoying the freedom.
Very boisterous and a bit of a puppy, a bit of a handful, but he's good as gold, really. Just loves being at home because there's lots of room for him and he gets lots of exercise.
Yeah.
So he's a very happy dog at the moment. You're a good boy, aren't you, really? He doesn't seem to have any problems eating, so he seems to be all right there. He's a bit of a slobber dog, isn't he?
Yes, to this.
It's a happy outcome for Jerry. Thanks to Peter's surgery, next week he will be able to be put up for adoption.
Good boy.
He is a good boy, really. Blondie!
2 months after being rescued from a faeces-ridden laundry, Blondie too is living with a foster family.
When I met Blondie, I couldn't believe how good she is, considering what I've heard about how she was picked up, and it was pretty horrific.
She likes to have cuddles and play around. She's a good girl.
She sleeps with us at night, and she's just cuddly and, yeah, nice.
A lot of these animals don't get a second chance, which is unfortunate. And I just think Blondie's really lucky.
We love you, Blondie!